What's up, y'all? And welcome back to Authentically RGB TV, better known as AAB TV. I am your girl, Audrey B. And yes, I'm in a whole totally different area because we're on fall break. And yesterday, my favorite show, your favorite show, America's favorite show, Abbot Elementary returned for season 5. Did y'all love it? Did y'all like it? Are y'all excited as I am? Let's get into this recap. So the episode begins with everybody coming into the teacher's lounge. We see all of our faves: Greg, Janine, Jacob, Melissa, Barbara, and Ava, Mr. Johnson, and a surprise from Morton. And everybody is just happy to be there. Janine's like on cloud now. She's 9. She's so super excited about being back to school. Everybody is loving the fact that this mysterious person brought in some donuts. Come to find out, they weren't as fresh as they thought they were. And so they move through, as we all know, for those of us who've been watching the seasons in the past, those of us who are actually work in the school system. The first few days before students come back are like professional development days. And I believe that's the title of this episode. And everybody is just like dragging and like, well, because it's development day. And Ava is just super in love. Okay, we all know that her and O'Shine made it official, and they are just head over heels with each other. And so she's doting over that, and everybody's just like, girl, okay. And then there's a special guest who comes, and he is from the district. We all know the big hoopla that took place last year or last season with the district, with the golf course and the money and the bribing and the firing and the hiring, all of that crazy stuff. So basically the district doesn't trust Abbott, and so they sent this man to their school to do like a day-long team building activity day. And we all know, again, if you work in the school district, those things are like cheesy sometimes. They very much just be like, okay, can we just get done with what we need to do and go home? Or they wanted to go and finish up getting their classrooms together. And the guy was basically trying to make it seem like, you know, this is something that had to be done. But everybody pretty much figured out it's because the district doesn't trust them. So they punish them with this team building day. And so Barb, who is super nice, as Janine kept saying, she wasn't grumpy, she wasn't like low key, she was just like on 10 the whole time, super positive. They're all sitting in the auditorium, and all of a sudden they introduce a new teacher who's young or whatever, and his name is Dominic. And I don't know if he's going to be like a recurring role. Maybe not. But he seemed pretty cool. And Barb was like, you know, she's heard that name before. Like, and come to find out, he was one of her kindergartners like 20 years back. And so it kind of took her for like a loop a little bit. But then Janine noticed that, and so Janine was just like, she basically has to do something, as always, she has to do something that is going to keep Barbara in this like nice space, this loving space, this gentle space, because she doesn't want Dominic to make her get all in her head about how he's used to be her student, and now he's the colleague, and maybe she's going to want to retire, all of those things, right? Which is what I thought it was going to like lead her to want to say. But she ended up just taking it in and loving it. She was like, it's such a blessing. Jacob and Melissa are still roommates, that we find out towards the end of the show. They're still roommates. Melissa is going to be taking on a new role at Abbott, and during the activities of the team building exercises, they had to be moved outside because of a situation that was going on in the kitchen. And Ava didn't take it seriously, but then it became real serious. So everybody had to be moved outside. And during the activity, like I said, Melissa and Jacob, they were in the same group. They had to be broken up, and they were basically just him and Morton, who are enemies, we all know. They took it upon themselves to tag team Melissa to try to give her like a crash course of what was to come in her new role. And you know, Melissa, she's tough. She don't take no stuff. I did not mean to rhyme, but that was funny. She was just like, you guys are just like basically trying to get in my head and it's not gonna work. But then it finally did. It finally got in her head, and she was a little like, did I make a mistake? Or, you know, what about Janine? Can she just do this part? But at the end of the day, she decided to stick it out. And as far as Mr. Johnson goes, he's still goofy Mr. Johnson. Like I said, he was the cause of the donut fiasco in the beginning of the episode. And he's also dealing with some things, and Greg is noticing it, and because of a conversation that they had earlier, and Greg wants to do his part to help his friend, and so he tries to teach him to ride a bike, y'all. And that was one of the funniest parts of the episode. If you have not watched it, please watch it, especially at the end. It was so funny. This show is just full of comedy. It's full of just like little one-liners and puns and like little stuff you got to pay attention to. I love this show. I know every season I say I love it, but I just love this show. It's so warm and it feels so good. Just to be, you know, just to have some really good actors and actresses just like be in their bag when it comes to like this comedy stuff. Also, Greg and Janine are still together. Woo! They're still together. They're going strong. And I'm trying to think, basically Janine, throughout the episode, she was trying to figure out who she was, because she saw that Barb and the new teacher Dominic were like really close, and he was always asking her questions. Barb offered her phone number, and she's like basically kind of jealous, like Ava was saying, but she just is so used to Barb being her mentor, being her work mom, that she didn't want somebody to get in the way of that. And then if they did get in the way of that, that meant that who is she? She didn't know who she was. So she tried her best to be grumpy. She tried to be all different personalities. But in the end, we all know that Janine is sweet as pie. She's gonna just always be that goofy personality that Abbott Elementary needs. And I was very happy that she ended up realizing that. Now, when it comes to Janine and the new teacher Dominic, she basically was telling him, you know, kind of being like snobby at first. But she was basically telling him like, look, if you can't get a hold of Barb, you can come and talk to me. I'll help you, whatever, any advice. And that is what kind of made that light bulb go out for her, that she doesn't have to be, you know, she doesn't have to not be that person that she's always been. She's just kind of moved up in the ranks. So there's somebody that's coming up under her, so she could be how Barb was to her. Also, in the midst of the team building activities outside, the district person was still trying to like get everybody to do what he wanted them to do. All of these activities, everybody's just going crazy, falling down, bumping into each other. Like, at the end of the day, they all had their own type of like team building, getting together and learning more about each other. I think that's what it was. They were learning more about each other. Like, Greg was learning things about Mr. Johnson and try to help. Janine was trying to learn more things about herself and realize how she could help. Barb was, like I said, she was just like so happy and so just happy-go-lucky that she was just she was just like I said, just on cloud nine and just loving every minute of it. And Jacob and Morton and Melissa, they were getting to know a little bit more about each other. It was really nice to see Jacob and Morton getting along. But they ended up helping Melissa to see, you know, what it was going to be like for her new role, like I said before. And at the end of the day, she stuck it out. And again, Ava is Ava, right? She's in love. She's better than everybody else. Everybody's beneath her, whatever. But let me also mention how good everybody looks. I'm like, dang, y'all, what y'all been doing during the summer? Ava, her body T. Hair, makeup, outfit, style. Even Janine, she looks cute. Like, everybody has stepped it up this season as far as like their looks. I mean, give it up to Barb, Shirley Ralph. She looks amazing as always. So everybody was just looking good. They just seem to be in a good space. And to see the growth from season 1 to now, season 5 is amazing. And just like you can tell, the budget done kicked up. You can tell like they are really invested in this show and making it the best. And at the end of the day, there's still some issues going on with Abbott, and Ava need to get on that real good, because we don't need no issues like what she got. But I just feel like this episode was a good first episode. It was very like kind of fast paced, but at the end of the day, like I said, I always find like this message that's hidden in it. But I feel like the whole point was for everybody to get to know each other, kind of lean on one another, learn more about one another, help each other out. And that's basically what they did. And the guy from the district was upset at first that they weren't following what he wanted them to do. But like Barb told him, like, we're doing it. Can't you see? They all rallied together behind Mr. Johnson. And the man was just like, you know what? You're right. Because he was trying to make them come back on the weekend. And nobody wants to do that. But yeah, y'all, that's pretty much the episode in a nutshell. I don't believe that I missed anything. It really, like I said, it was a really funny, cute little introduction to season 5. I'm excited to see what is going to happen throughout the rest of the season. How do you guys feel about Abbott? Are you guys excited that it's back? Do you guys think this is going to be the last season, or you think it's going to be more? Just let me know what your thoughts are and how you're feeling about it. And I will see you guys back next week for another recap of Abbott Elementary.